You are now watching But First Coffee. Cierra Wilson is a business consultant, entrepreneur, and lawyer. Her law firm, Cierra ESQ, also specializes in digital marketing and branding. Welcome. How are you today?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Fine. I'm presenting to you guys Miss Cierra. She is going to tell us a little bit about herself so that we can get down to the questions. I want to make sure she has the first say, though. So tell us how everything started and what you do.
Definitely. So I am Cierra ESQ. I love to call myself everyone's favorite lawyer Barbie. I am an attorney and I'm also a business consultant. I have my own law firm and I have a consulting firm. With my law firm, I primarily handle class actions, personal injury, employment law. I'll sometimes take on people's like trademarks, which I should because I do business consulting. And for my business consulting, I focus primarily on new entrepreneurs. I love helping them launch their business ideas. I love helping them, teaching them how to legally protect, start, scale their new businesses. I also love like people who have businesses that want to scale and they're like getting stuck. That's like my specialty, but more people come to me wanting to like get off the ground.
Well, what made you go into that? I mean, you seem like you're very passionate about it. And there's not a lot of attorneys in that field that are women of color. So what drove you to begin this field?
Definitely. I'm glad you asked me that too. So at the beginning of the pandemic, we all were at home chilling. And I personally was loving that time. I would be like at home baking cake, doing yoga, just down,
living the life.
Yeah. I worked at a law firm at the time and I would be on Instagram and I noticed at the time that everybody was like getting into entrepreneurship and I would see so many, gurus misfeeding information, just misleading people. And I just felt like if an attorney didn't step into the space, people were going to be like in jail listening to these folks on the internet. So, and just a quick story, today I log into Instagram and I see everybody like going crazy because this soccer player, he gave everything to his mom while he was married. So now his wife is his wife is trying to get half of everything. And everybody's like, oh, he's so smart. He's so smart. I'm like, okay, clearly nobody understands the law because how it works is everything that's earned, during your marriage is like split 50 with your spouse, but you would have to know the law to understand that. So it's like instances like that where it's just like I'll get on the internet and it's like my background and my knowledge. I'm like, oh my God, like if people really listen to the internet, they'll be misled and confused and behind bars.
The headlines are so misleading. And usually with the short attention span, we kind of run with that short piece of knowledge. So how have you like leveraged social media into creating your brand?
Definitely. I actually love social media. I think, social media, you have to like either like it or you love it or you hate it, right? There's literally no in between. I have utilized social media to like expand my brand by providing like nothing but value. Whether I am posting, an educational reel, a cute little carousel of me on vacation. I'm just like, no, but I just always provide value, always educational content. I've actually like changed my content style multiple times. So at the very beginning, I used to just like post pictures and put like inspirational tweets. And then there was more like back end education. But I have found that I attract like more people when I just like provide educational reels, especially because Instagram, they're competing with TikTok. So reels have been my name to gain my name. What am I saying? My claim to fame. Okay.
Got it.
And just really, really showing people stuff. Like I do not gatekeep. I have inexpensive courses. I have free content, and literally people come to me every day and they're like, you should charge more. You shouldn't give this away for free. I'm like, maybe you you have to structure your business that way, but I'm going to structure mine this way. I'm going to give free value. I'm going to give, the game for less expensive than people with less knowledge than me, less credentials than me, less experience than me. I think that's a smart, competitor strategy as well.
Yeah, it's true. Because more people are going to flock to you and then say, well, she's also giving me facts as well as not ripping me off for, trying to help my business grow. So what do you prefer more, practicing the law part or creating those avenues for businesses to grow?
I love that you asked me that. Honestly speaking, I really love my consulting business more.
Okay.
And it's just because, like, when we're talking law, we're talking about like legally protecting something. Like people come to you, with like sob stories. People come to you in chaos. People come to you in trauma, right? Whereas in business, people just come to you with a light heart, excitement. Like the heaviest thing that they bring to me is their fear, and once we can get past that, we can grow. Whereas like, I get all type of cases. Like I have a case against freaking Magic City in Atlanta right now for mistreating a dancer. I have cases against Similac, and that's because babies were getting sick. Like that's not something that's light. I have cases against Uber, Lyft, Amazon, Instacart because they're miscategorizing drivers, and it's just such a like fighting position to be in. And I just want to be, someone's angel. I just want to be there when someone's like, you know what, I wanted to accomplish X, Y, and Z. And by the grace of God, I found this amazing person.
Right.
Didn't rip me off. They gave me a ton of information. I have made a few millionaires, and my goal is to make more. And I just think that's way more fun than practicing, to be honest.
So if say I'm going to start a business and I come to you and say, I'm not sure how to receive capital. This is all new to me. I've done everything legally, but no one has told me, okay, where's the money coming from? Where do I start?
Definitely.
So what would you tell that person?
First, just can we clarify, are you referring to like getting funding or like starting to make money in the business?
Getting funding.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So the first step, of course, is setting up that business properly, which you come to me with a properly set up business. And then it's just, if you have good personal credit, you literally can just like personally guarantee things from the bank. They'll give you loans, they'll give you credit cards. But I've learned that that's not always the case. Everybody does not come with, excellent.
Right. That's true.
So you actually you start off, there's like different tiers. So you start off with, the lower vendors, lower tier vendors. You go by their terms, you pay a few payments, and then you go up through tiers. And within 90 days, you should be getting funding in your business. I think a lot of people don't know that, and they allow their fears of like, I have bad credit now and their limited knowledge to hold them back because they think, I can't start a business because I don't have funding. But the fact of the matter is you can get funding with poor personal credit. It's just going to take a little bit longer. And then also, I'm a huge proponent of grants. So there are a ton of small businesses that are minority ran, and there's a ton of money out there that these huge corporations have set aside to give people. And the reason they've done that is because, either at the end of the year, they're looking at this big tax bill and they're like, okay, we owe, I don't know, let's just say we owe $1 million. Either we're going to give this away and make ourselves look amazing, which is an amazing marketing tactic.
That'll be great.
Or they can, give it to Uncle Sam. So a ton of corporations have grant programs. And I also Soon, I'm going to be showing people how to draft grant proposals using AI. I love artificial intelligence. My name of the game has always been to work smarter than harder. So they can draft their grant proposals and get free money. So if you came to me, I would say, girl, you better, if your credit is good, let's just like get you funding right now. If you had poor personal credit, then I would say, okay, we're going to work our way through these tiers and let's get to drafting these grant proposals to get this free money, to get this free coin.
Right. Everybody loves free money. Absolutely. So you mentioned AI. Now, a lot of people have now just been introduced to those resources. How does that help or hinder a company if they start using those to draft different things for their company?
Definitely. So me personally, I am a huge proponent of, artificial intelligence. I love AI. I think that it's super advantageous to use AI. You can use it to draft emails, text. And you asked me like, what are the cons of it? So I'm so glad you asked me that as an attorney, right? So there are some copyright issues related to AI. So I see all the time, my competitors, they'll be creating content like, oh, use AI to create an ebook.
Right.
But you can't do that because, if you're using like something like ChatGPT, they own the copyrights to all the material that they're creating. So you can't copyright that material. And, we see this is like literally we're in unknown territory. I don't know what they plan on doing. They might later on come suing people for all their copyright infringement issues. But I would say that area of it, selling things that you created on AI, I, as an attorney, would not recommend people doing that. But when it comes to using it as a tool to help you become superwoman or superman, I 10 out of 10 highly recommend. I can't even express to you, like, I think I'm going to lose my writing skills because every letter, every email, every text, any task that I'm writing, like I don't write any like body of writing.
No more body text. Got it.
All done through AI.
You say I can make my notes with AI. I'm not selling this material. I'm just creating my own personal journal, which is cool. And I know this is like where the generation of technology is currently taking us. Considering that, you've earned your degree and your expertise other ways, what does this new pivot look like for people that are trying to be where you are today?
Definitely. In terms of like getting an education, it's so funny. Like I'm so split on some issues, right? So I'll see people like on the internet saying like, you don't need an education. And like my biggest like reason for wanting, young people to get an education will always be like, look, like college taught me how to think, like critical thinking skills. Everybody doesn't have them. And, I learned that in college, in law school. My writing is superior. Like no AI can write as amazing as me, but I learned that in school. So it's so interesting. I think that AI is going to make it where the youth might not have to go to school so much. And that really is a huge statement coming from me because I am the one who always gets into debates about how college education is very important. But, that was pre-AI. I think that these young kids, they could do, the world is their oyster. If I was to like be like, Miss Cleo and look at my crystal ball of like what the future holds with respect to business and technology. I think we're going to see like a huge like explosion of younger people starting businesses. They're going to be starting technological businesses. They're going to be in commerce. They're going to be utilizing technology in ways that we have never, envisioned or imagined. So yeah, I think to get to where I am, I think, at the end of the day, I think where I am is archaic at this point.
Wow.
In terms of lawyers, I am a pretty innovative lawyer. So I do have a lot of like lawyers who reach out to me because how I've set up my practice is not the norm. I actually have pretty much like I've set it up kind of where it's like a referral law firm because I'm
Mm.
licensed in California and I only practice in California. But I've noticed that like the majority of my audience is on the East Coast. And that doesn't, me being licensed in California does not stop people from
Right.
reaching out to me with their legal issues. So I've partnered with the largest law firm in America, and pretty much anytime someone has a legal issue, I, expedite their case to the front, the front of the line with the biggest law firm in America. And by doing that, I've expanded my power, my resources, because I'm only one person. But by partnering with the largest law firm in America, anytime somebody sees like, because I'm co-counsel on every case, so it's not like I
Oh,
just
okay.
pass it away. Like any case, you'll see my name on it. And when they see that huge law firm behind us, they settle faster. The companies like Uber, Amazon, they would laugh at me by myself. But, with a huge law firm behind me, it definitely helped. So I think within like the legal profession, we're going to see attorneys kind of changing how they're practicing, because there really is like one path that we're taught. You just go to law school, you work at a law firm,
True. Yeah.
you work your way up to being a partner. And I'm a partner of a huge law firm, and I didn't work my way up to nothing. I didn't spend 10 years doing that.
Well, that's a good note to take.
Definitely.
How do you feel about them reaching out to you? Like, because you do have to refer it over, and now you're working with attorneys that you may not work with every day. So,
Definitely.
this becomes showing that you're a team player. And a lot of people think it's just me, me, me. We're living in an I type of era right now. So how did that come to be, and how do you feel about that?
Definitely. Well, how it came to be first and foremost. So, humbly speaking, there's not a lot of attorneys who have like huge audiences, especially young Black attorneys. Statistically speaking, only 5% of attorneys, like per total, like all attorneys, only 5% are Black. I believe 1% are Black women. So I am like an anomaly. So when I started building my platform, naturally, I just started building. I wasn't saying, oh, I do this, come to me, come to me. I have never actually even said like, come to me with your legal issues, because people, just me having my Instagram name as ESQ and me saying I'm a lawyer, people just come to me. And I was approached a couple years back with an opportunity to co-counsel with the law firm on a class action lawsuit. And the day that I just posted like a tweet, and I was like, I posted the tweet on Twitter, and then I posted it on my Instagram. And I said, if you have driven for Uber, Lyft, Amazon, Instacart, Grubhub, DM me this word, you might be entitled to compensation. That happened to be the craziest day of my life, because I did not know, because to date, I had only been on social media helping people with their business. So that day, over like 1,000 people reached out to me. I now have automated messages, but at that time I had a virtual assistant agency supporting me. And they had to bring on like their entire team to answer all my DMs that day. And, also we had some hiccups along the way. I'm not even going to talk about them, but they were hiccups that I was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my license. I'm so scared.
Oh my goodness.
But it was all because of like technology and me receiving like more people an influx of people that I did not anticipate.
Okay.
That if I chose to be like me, I would not be efficient. I would not be effective. I stopped working at a law firm because I wanted to be free time wise. Financially, I don't really like being stressed out. So I would have to make a decision. Like if I want to be self-centered, then I'm going to be overworked and stressed out. I think another component too is like not only do people want to be me, but people have issues with like control and like giving
Okay.
up control, where they're like, oh, if I have somebody else do something, it's not going to be as good as me. But I think that the long term that I work with, I think that they're more experienced than me. I think that they're more than capable. Every time I pass a case to them, I feel, more confident than I would feel if I was on my own.
So how do you make time for yourself? Now you downsized. Well, not downsized. Well, you chose the type of way you handle law this way so you can not be stressed. But that means either you have a ton of time for self-care or you still are juggling. So what is the balance here?
Definitely. I'm so glad you asked me that too. So um I am also like, since I was like very, very young, I've been like super into tech, like super, super, super into tech. Like, I'm talking to you on a MacBook Air and I have never used any other computer but Apple, but I've just always been into like technology since like seventh grade. So everything that I do, there's some type of technology that makes my life easier. I am like the queen of like automations.
Okay.
I have a team. I actually realized too the other day, I went on vacation to Jamaica and I realized that I have a team of 25 assistants that support me. I have one project manager. So the reason I didn't realize that there was 25 is because like my project manager pretty much manages everything. My project manager is like me. So what my role is just to oversee everything. I literally oversee every single thing that happens. Um, I wish I could say that like the balance was like, oh, like I work 3 hours a day. Um, the reality is I always work. I don't care. Like I think when you enjoy what you do, you don't feel like you're working. So like,
Okay.
when I'm on my computer, I don't feel like I'm doing my work. And I also, when I'm not doing my work, I don't care. Like I don't feel like guilty. I went to Brazil last month for 10 days. I didn't care at all.
Mm. Why would you? You were in Brazil.
Yeah, I didn't miss a beat. And then I just got back from Jamaica. And while I was there, I was waking up to rum punch in the morning and I
You're
wasn't
making people very intrigued to be an entrepreneur, especially an attorney. So they're like, how can I get started?
that's why I'm passionate about it. And that's why I want people to be entrepreneurs, because it's like, I've always envisioned a certain life for myself and I'm living it now. And I remember like, especially being an attorney, because it's like we're told that things are going to be like cookie cutter, but I challenge that. But you know, it's possible. You can live the life that you dream. You just have to like go after it. And first and foremost, you have to believe it. If you don't believe it, it's just never going to happen. But the second that you're like, hold up, I can do this, you're going to figure it out, whether you find yourself a mentor, whether you're on YouTube University, whether you're just figuring everything out step by step. You figure it out when you really want it.
You see, it seems like you do a ton of affirmations and that you're a very positive person. So do you have one that you can share or something that can help people get started?
Definitely. So I want to, take time to share just a few things more so than affirmations.
Okay.
My mom showed me when I was like in seventh grade, the documentary The Secret. And basically what The Secret talks about is how, anything that you think about, anything that you believe, it will manifest itself as its reality in your life. So that's where like, the vision boards come from, writing the affirmations, because when you write a vision board or you create a vision board, and I just looked up because I have a vision board over there. um, when you create a vision board and you see the life that you want to live, like it's like you're like programming your subconscious to like actually believe that that's your life. And then when you're writing like, I am healthy, I am happy, I am wealthy, you're saying those things as if they're in the present moment, and you're attracting those things to you. So what do I do to like attract the things that I want in my life? I try to maintain a positive mindset. And before I even get into what I do, I just want to go further into educating on. There's two things that I'll just stick to Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Okay.
So Maslow's hierarchy of needs, at the very bottom, we have like our basic physiological needs as a human being. So that's like whatever you need to survive. When those things aren't met, you are in survival. So you have a mentality, literally think like you have a hard time believing things can happen for you. So if your physiological needs aren't being met, then my advice to any person, like, if you don't know how you're going to pay your rent, if you don't know how you're going to put food on the table, don't focus on your dreams right now. Don't focus on, your dream life. Just focus on securing the bag so that you can get out of survival. Because once you get out of survival, literally, like, you got to heal a little bit. Yeah. And once you heal from that, you'll be able to start seeing things as like, wow, I'm a creator, right? You either, when you wake up in the morning, you either believe that life happens to you, or you believe that it happens for you. When you believe that life happens to you, you're like in survival. You have like a victim mentality. It's very hard to manifest things from that space. So it's important to like figure out how to get those bills paid. But when you understand that you are a creator, your needs are met. And because your needs are met, you're like more so looking for meaning and purpose from life. So getting out of that survival, once you're out of survival, just understanding that you are a creator and the life that you want to see, you have the power to manifest. What do? I wish I could say, I say affirmations every day. I do have a 369 journal, and I do write in that periodically, but not consistently. I don't listen to affirmations, but I would recommend, if you need that, listen to them. Also, there's something called solfeggio beats. So they're different frequencies. Whether we want to believe it or not, frequencies carry, energies and emotions. So if we listen to something like, I don't know, some very ghetto rap music, like the frequency is probably going to be 808s, which is like, very, very, very low vibration, survival type vibration. But when you start listening to higher frequency music, like meditation music, it's going to start literally changing your internal DNA makeup. So I would recommend people listen to solfeggio beats, frequencies. They have manifestation frequencies. They have like releasing fear, releasing trauma frequencies. And when you listen, you can't be like, oh, this doesn't work. Let me see if it works. Like, you got to believe it for it to work. Yeah, that's my advice there with attracting and manifesting and being positive.
Yeah, it seems like that's where the space you're living in now. And it is true. If you are constantly in survival mode, it's hard for you to even think about anything creative because you're just like, okay, I need to eat. I need to live. So we appreciate you sharing the information because a lot of people, like you said, gatekeep or don't share the little tidbits you need in order to achieve the level of success you're looking for that you think you can't have. So we are so grateful for you, Miss Cierra.
Of course.
For shining your light and your energy with us today. You have given us more than enough gems to start moving forward. Now, what about this podcast? Are you coming out with a podcast and a book, or what is the...
What am I coming out with? Yeah, I'm definitely not coming out with the podcast, but I'm not coming out with podcasts, but I am finally launching a mentorship group. I, for the past 2 years, had just created digital products, but I find that like live interactions are more valuable. So very, very soon, I actually am like starting to accept students right now. And how it's going to be structured is once a week, I will have a masterclass, and, like a real masterclass, not hiding no type of ball. When I teach, I share my screen. I'm like, go here, click this, do this. It's not cute. It's real information. So weekly masterclasses, bi-weekly Q&A sessions. And then also once a month, I'm going to drop like a whole new, like full digital product in there. So like a course.
Okay.
My next one is going to be business funding secrets. So I love that you asked me about business funding. And it's a lot. I have literally probably 100 pages of 100, slides of different vendors that you can apply to, depending on what your industry is. I find that when people teach business funding, they're like, oh, go here and buy staples. It's like, you don't have to buy staples, get what you need in your business,
Okay.
business credit. So I've really broken down business funding. I'm looking at my list right now. I'm going to be teaching people how to use ChatGPT really soon because I find that people don't really know how to use it. They know what it can do for them, but
right.
if
It's a new lane for a lot of people. So yeah, we appreciate you kind of mending that together. And I'm not sure if you're one of the first, but you're sure in the top tier of, putting together the educational piece as well as the lifestyle piece, as well as the business building piece with AI, instead of just saying, hey, look, I'm using AI. So that's much appreciated. So we have to make sure, you guys have to make sure you sign up to this class, follow Miss Cierra, Esquire, and make sure you get those gems and the knowledge that she's spreading about how to build your business and the funding about it. So we appreciate that. And you said it's about to come out, or is it already?
Yes, it's out. It's out. Okay. So if you want to learn more about it, any of my posts, comment masterclass, DM me the word masterclass, click the link in my bio where you see free masterclass, and you'll get, behind the scenes of what I'm like, what my teaching is like. I have a ton of free resources in the link in my bio.
Okay.
Click any of those, whatever speaks to you, download it, and we will be in touch because I miss automation, so I'm making sure that we are communicating.
Right. She has 25 assistants, guys. So you definitely going to make sure that you get back to us. So we appreciate you joining us today. Very, very, very lucky to have you speak. So thank you so much for joining us. We will love to get back to you anytime, and keep us updated on what's new, because we want to know what else, because AI, it's still new. So by the time the next technology hit, we know Miss Technology Cierra is going to be on top of it. So we're going to make sure we continue to follow you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody. Have a great evening, day, whatever it is, wherever you are.